University of Afghanistan, which, by the way, can no longer exist inside of Afghanistan. Obaidullah, good to see you. I guess one could say, given the way things have been going in Afghanistan, to have a public flogging was a matter of time.
Always a pleasure being here. I think there are two important ways in which we should look at this. One is the general context of hudud or Islamic corporal punishments, and then it's the specific context of Afghanistan. I mean, hududs aren't very specific to Afghanistan. They are carried out in countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Indonesia,
Right.
Malaysia, Sudan, and so on and so forth. But specifically with regards to what we're seeing in Afghanistan, I think there's an important question for Islamic scholars to ask as well as to which of the practices we currently deem to be religious are more cultural or contextualized within the time of the Prophet, and we should be rethinking them and evolving them. But with regards to Afghanistan specifically, one of the problems is that there are so many issues right now that it doesn't make sense to start with public floggings, for example. I mean, the justice system is very opaque. We don't even understand the decision-making mechanism of the Taliban. There is also this idea of the obscene poverty and other priorities that should be addressed first. And at the end of the day, it impacts the mindset of the whole world with regards to Afghanistan. So maybe we should be asking, in a country where there is barely any system, the arbitrary implementation of these hududs are just going to create more problems than they solve.
Also, when the Taliban took power very quickly in August of last year, they tried to present themselves as the new Taliban, that women would be going to school, that they would even play a role in the government. I mean, have they really kept any of their promises? This looks very much like Taliban 1.0.
I think what we need to realize is that there is a tension within the group as well. There are people who are less conservative, who have been trying to push the system in a direction that is more tolerable to the international community and more tolerable to the Afghans in general as well. But recently, with the ban on parks for women, with the ban on gyms for women, and the ban on public baths, and then now we're seeing the implementation of Sharia law or the Islamic corporal punishment, and then the education ban. And there's very strong rumors that there will actually be a complete ban on girls going to high school and women going to universities. So it just shows that the more conservative group, that is the Emir and his close aides, they're regaining control and trying to get their say of what Afghanistan looks like, which is why people like myself have been campaigning for education because it feels like it's now or never.
Yeah, you know, we just heard in the last few days the board of the American University of Afghanistan saying that they fully expect very soon there to be an outright ban on women attending university. Isn't there then going to be a backlash within the country?
I mean, that's what we're hoping for. The fact that we ran a digital media campaign a week ago in which we had a whole week of discussions. We went on national media.
Yeah.
We managed to raise as much awareness as we could with regards to the matter. And our second phase is now starting soon. We're going to go to different universities, hold events there. We're going to go to communities, districts, and villages to raise awareness amongst the citizens. And the hope is that the backlash doesn't only come from the larger population, but also the less conservative group members within the Taliban who do hold some power should be the ones stepping up and even if need be, strong-arm the current leadership into allowing girls to be educated, because this is going to be the last nail in the coffin. This was the biggest bone of contention from the get-go, and the moment such a permanent ban is implemented, countries are already backing away from engaging with the Taliban or talking about Afghanistan preempting a ban on girls' education. And if that happens, maybe it's good that that happens. Maybe it's better than waiting for months in limbo. Maybe now everyone has to act and do whatever is absolutely necessary to do to allow education.
All right, Obaidullah Baheer, always good to hear from you.
Happy to be here.